Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Story Time. I'm Miss Davena and we will go ahead and start with our hello song. Ready? Everyone help me out. Hello everybody and how are you? How are you? Hello everybody and how are you? Again. Hello everybody and how are you? How are you? Hello everybody and how are you? How are you today? I'm well. I know we have a lot of excitement in the air because we're getting ready to have possibly a big snowstorm tomorrow through Thursday. So some of you boys and girls are really getting excited about that, and that's okay. Just want to give you a heads up because we here at the library are under construction right now. We have a lot of work going on inside and outside that may you might hear noises in the background, and that's all part of the process of having a new and exciting children's area. So I can't wait until we can all be together again and be in that new children's area. But in the meantime, when we do these videos, you very well may hear some noises in the background. So if you're here today and you're watching, please make sure you let me know, and I'll do my best to say hello. I'm pretty sure that Nathan usually watches with us, and sometimes Keegan and some of you other boys and girls. So if you're here and you know Miss Davena and you want to tell me that you're watching, please do, and I'll try to say hello to you. But our topic today is called Holidays Around the World. And there's all kinds of different ways that people celebrate holidays and different holidays. But in December, there are several different specific holidays that are celebrated, like Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Diwali. So our activities will have all different activities that go along with different holidays. Today, we're mainly going to focus on Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. And Hanukkah just started last Thursday, so we're in the middle of Hanukkah, and it's an 8-day celebration. So our first book that we have today is a book called Hanukkah, a counting book in English, Hebrew, and Yiddish by Emily Sper. And I'm going to tell you right up front, if you are someone that celebrates Hanukkah, please forgive Miss Davena for mispronouncing some of these words. I don't even claim to be able to pronounce them correctly. I will do my best. But in the meantime, we're going to practice our counting. We will practice our colors today, and we're going to learn a little bit about Hanukkah. So I'm going to tell you a little about the Hanukkah story if you don't already know. The Hanukkah story. Many years ago, when the Syrian Greeks ruled the ancient Israel, they put statues of Greek gods in every town. The people were told that if they didn't pray to the Greek gods, they would be punished, and one man refused. His name was Matthias. It's kind of like Matthew, it's similar to Matthew. And his sons were Judah, Eleazar, Simon, Jonathan, and Johanan. Judah was called the Maccabee, and his band of fighters, the Maccabees. They revolted, that means they fought against them, the Syrian Greeks, using shields to protect themselves from the spears of the enemy. So even when the Syrian Greeks attacked on elephants, they couldn't stop the Maccabee rebellion. Judah and the Maccabees drove the Syrian Greeks out of Jerusalem, and they were considered heroes. So we have the elephant there, and that's what the Syrian Greeks were using to attack. After the fighting ended, the Maccabees cleaned the temple from top to bottom and took out the statues of the Greek gods. And now the temple could again be used by the Jewish people as a place to pray, because it was against their religion to have the other gods in their temples, and so that's why they had to clean it out. And it was rededicated as a place of prayer. Hanukkah means dedication in Hebrew. To dedicate the temple, the Maccabees put oil in the menorah, and the menorah is like a lamp with oil in it. And then they lit it. They put oil in it and they lit it. But in the ancient Jewish symbol, the menorah in the temple had only 7 branches. 3 branches on each side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1 in the middle. A legend tells us that the Maccabees found only enough sacred oil to burn for 1 day. But there was a miracle. The oil burned for 8 nights and 8 days. During that time, the Maccabees were able to get more oil to keep the menorah burning. And the Hanukkah menorah has 9 candles, 1 for each of the 8 nights, and 1 with which to light the others. For many years, people lit oil in their Hanukkah menorahs, but today most light candles. So if you look, there's your candles, and they have, instead of the 6 on the other page, they now have the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 9th one in the middle. And the 9th one has a special name. And we'll come back to this because there's a game that they play, and then there's other special foods that a lot of times people that celebrate Hanukkah will use. But for now, we're going to go through and we're going to practice our counting, and we're going to talk about the different candles and what they stand for. So we have the first candle, which is called the worker candle. Remember, work. So we have a lot of workers here that are building and working on our library, but this is the worker candle. And what color is that candle? It's red. That's right. And the reason it's called the worker candle is because that is the one, or the shamash, that lights all the other candles that are burning. So we have 1 Hanukkah menorah or Hanukkah lamp, and ihad. Ihad is 1 in Hebrew. So everybody do 1. 1 is just like we normally do. We're also going to do it in sign language. What comes after 1? 2, right? 2 jelly donuts. Ooh, yum. Shnayim or shnayim is 2. And I, again, apologize that I'm not pronouncing that correctly. So we have 1, 2 candles, and we have a green candle and a blue candle. What comes after 2? 3. And remember, 3 in sign language is like this, because this is a W. So we are doing 3. And 3 is shlosha, for 3 elephants. Let's count the elephants. Ready? If I can see them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 elephants. And what color are those elephants? That's right, they are gray. They're gray. And some elephants are brown, but these elephants in this picture are gray. So we had 3 candles, yellow, green, and blue. What comes? 4. Right, 4. And 4 for the dreidel or the spinning top. Arba'ah is 4. Arba'ah is 4 in Hebrew, and this is 4 in sign language. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dreidels or 4 spinning tops. And if you look, the dreidel is a toy, but it has symbols on it, which are Hebrew words, and those symbols stand for words. And the first one is Nes, and it stands for miracle. Gadol is great. Haya, happened. And Sham is there. So that's the 4 sides to the dreidel. And it's a game that the children play. And we're going to sing the Dreidel Song. And last year, if you remember, when we had our light celebration, or the year before when we did our light celebration, one of the activities was a dreidel and the game that you could play. And I'm pretty certain that's one of the activities that's included in the STEAM calendar in this month for this week, because it is a really fun activity. So you can make the dreidel and you can get some pretend coins or gold coins, because that's what that stood for, gelt or money or gold coins. And there's how many? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold coins. So there are 5 gold coins, or hamisha, and that means there are what? How many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. And what color is that candle? Yeah, it's Miss Davina's favorite, right? Purple. So now we have purple, red, yellow, green, and blue. 5 candles. What comes after 5? Do you remember? You tell me. That's right, 6. Now, there were 6 heroes in the story. Do you remember when we were talking about the sons and the Maccabees, and that there were 6 of them? So there were 6 heroes. And Shisha is 6. And these are their names. Ready? There's Matthias, Judah the Maccabee, Eleazar, Simon, Jonathan, and Johanan. So that's 6 candles that represent 6 of the heroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, we can count on one hand in sign language. That's one of the fun things about it. After 6 comes what? What do you think? 7. Very good. 7 potato pancakes. 7. So this was 6 and this is 7. So it's that long finger, sometimes called the ring finger. And it taps your thumb. 7. Shiva is 7. Shiva, 7 potato pancakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potato pancakes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. Very good. And potato pancakes, we'll learn about that. A potato pancake and jelly donuts remind us of the miracle of the oil. They taste so good, and we sometimes forget about the miracle. So the potato pancakes and the jelly donuts are to help remind them of the miracle of the oil burning for 8 days when there was only enough for 1 day. And what's the last number? 8, right? 8 candles, or shmona, 8. 8 nights, 8 candles that represent the 8 nights that it burned on just 1 day's worth of oil. So let's go ahead and count them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your tall middle finger that taps your thumb. 8 candles for 8 nights, or shmona. So happy Hanukkah, or Hanukka, is what this stands for. This menorah is the 8 candles, and we have the 1 worker candle, and that's what lights all the other 8 candles. And this is Emily. Emily Sper was the author, the person that wrote this book. And this is her little story. And she says, growing up, my sister and I both wanted to light the candles on the last night. That meant we took turns. Some years I had the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th nights. Other years I was lucky enough to get the 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 8th nights. Remember, 8, because the 8th night was the final night. After lighting the candles, my family ate latkes, which are the potato pancakes with applesauce on top. Latkes with sour cream also taste great. Did you ever wonder why we eat latkes to celebrate Hanukkah? Here's a hint. The Maccabees found oil in the temple. Latkes are cooked in oil, and so are the sufganiyot, which are the jelly donuts eaten in Israel for Hanukkah. When I grew up, I moved there. Now I live in Boston, where I am happy eating both latkes and donuts. For me, the best thing about Hanukkah is that it comes every year. So that was the story of the menorah and of the 8 nights of Hanukkah. And it's just a brief story, but we got to practice some of our colors, and some of our numbers. So my song that I have for us is called the Dreidel Song. And remember, we said that that's like a spinning top. And it goes like this. You can't see the words, but I'll hold it up so that you may be able to see them. And then we'll sing it through at least 2 times. Ready? It goes like this. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. And a lot of the dreidels or the tops were made out of clay, and some people still do that, but the ones that we have are made out of paper. So in the activity that is included in the comment section, both on our YouTube channel, and then I'll also add it into the bottom in the comments on this video. Once we're done with story time, there is an activity where you can print out the dreidel and the directions to the game, and you could even sing the song along with it as you're playing. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. So anybody that likes to paint or do anything like that with crafts, you know that a lot of times you have to let it dry before you can play with it, or it just gets all messed up and then you can't play anymore. And so that's kind of a reminder for the kids when they were making their dreidels that they had to let it dry before they started to play with it and had fun. And with any kind of work, sometimes you have to wait. I know that's hard. Wait is hard sometimes when you want to play with something, but in the end, it always ends up better if you do wait. So this book is called this is called a true book, meaning it's a true story, or it's what? Nonfiction. So it means that it talks about facts or things that are real or true, and so did the Hanukkah Story. This one is by Dana Meachen, and it's a little bit about what Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and how it started. And a lot of our holidays started a long time ago, but Kwanzaa is one of those ones that is kind of young. Many celebrations and holidays have been for hundreds of years, but Kwanzaa has only been a part of family tradition since the 1960s. So it's really only about as old as Miss Davena, which to some of you might seem old, but it's really not that long when you think about how long some people have been celebrating things. And it started a long time ago in Africa. It kind of is based on their traditions of harvest festivals, and in the 1960s they started celebrating it, and in around the Christmas time. And it says Kwanzaa lasts 7 days from December 26th, so that's the day after Christmas, or in Britain that's called Boxing Day, to January 1st, or New Year's Day. Several million people celebrate Kwanzaa in the United States, Canada, England, the Caribbean, Africa, and other countries around the world. Kwanzaa is based on 7 principles of important ideas. So a principle is like an important idea, or sometimes a rule, but not always a rule. It's more an idea or something that you follow. This boy is helping his dad make a special candle holder called a kinara. So the kinara is very similar in some ways to the menorah. See it right there? And so in some ways it does remind us of Hanukkah, even though it's different. They are called or is it Nguzo, Saba. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa is centered around a different principle. The principles are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. So there's 7. So it's unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. So that unity means the coming together of the family, the community, and all African Americans. So that means they're all coming together. Self-determination means that one will stand up for oneself and decide one's own future. That means you get to decide what's right for you in the end. Collective work and responsibility means that they work together with others to solve their problems. So sometimes if you have a problem that you need solved or a job that needs done, it's too much for one person, but if you work together with other people, it becomes easier to do, and you get everybody's ideas, and it helps solve the problem. Cooperative economics means they support businesses run by other African Americans. Their purpose means that they remember the traditions of their past African relatives. Creativity means making the community beautiful. And faith means that they believe in their family and their leaders and other African Americans, their dreams and of the future. And for some of them, it means they have a faith in some type of higher being or God or spiritual power. But that's all included in that. So that they have faith in their community and each other. So that means they know they can depend on each other. And that's one of the principles. Those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So that is a little bit about Kwanzaa. And this is a boy and girl that are dressed in their traditional clothes. And if you see all the fruits and vegetables there on the bottom, there's all different fruits and vegetables. And that was because that represented the harvest. So let's see if we can find a picture of their so there's the 7 principles, and they have their kinara with the 7 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each candle stands for one of the principles celebrated during Kwanzaa. And these are the 7 Swahili, which is a dialect or language of the 7 principles, or Nguzo Saba. So these are the name. For unity, it's Umoja. Then for self-determination, it's Kojicha Gulia for self-determination. Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. Ujama is cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Kuumba is creativity. And Imani is faith. Imani, faith. So those, and see, in a lot of ways, it's very, it reminds us a lot of Hanukkah. And see, the little girl, they're lighting their candles as well. So a lot of our holidays are different, but are also very similar. That means they're not exactly the same, but they have a lot of the same principles or the same thing. There's certain things that remind us of others. And this is another one of those holidays. And there's all different kinds of ways around the world that people celebrate all the different holidays. So we'll go ahead and we'll sing our Kwanzaa candle song. And this will help us. We're going to sing our colors. And this goes to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. And its Kinara candles are red, black, and green. Red, black, and green. Kinara candles are red, black, and green, the brightest I've ever seen. So ready? We'll sing this a couple of times. Here we go. Canara candles are, Mary had a little lamb, sorry. Canara candles are red, black, and green, red, black, and green, red, black, and green. Canara candles are red, black, and green, the brightest I've ever seen. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. Canara candles are red, black, and green, red, black, and green, red, black, and green. Canara candles are red, black, and green, the brightest I've ever seen. So remember, red, so it's your finger, red. Black is your finger across your forehead. So that's like if you had a hat on, you were working and got sweaty and dirty and you had a black ring on your forehead. So black. And green is the G and shake it. Red, black, and green. So that's what the Canara candles, the colors they are. And the middle candle is the black candle, and that's the one that lights the other 6, because there are 7 candles that represent the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So today we talked about what? We talked about Hanukkah and we talked about Kwanzaa. So we had the celebration of Hanukkah, which started this past Thursday, and it goes for 8 days and nights. And then we had the story of the celebration of Kwanzaa that starts on December 26th, and that goes till January 1st, and that has 7 principles, so 7. So let's go ahead and we'll count from 0 to 10 because we've been practicing our counting. So in sign language, remember, it's a little different. We can count all on one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and who remembers what 10 is? Right, thumb up and shake it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go backwards. Ready? We're going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I want to say thank you to all your boys and girls for joining me today for our story time talking about Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. And next week we're going to specifically focus on Christmas and some things that go around some of the Christmas celebrations. And we're getting closer and closer. And maybe tomorrow we might have a lot of snow that we'll be able to do some sledding and skiing and just building snowmen and snow angels. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But if you want to send Miss Davena an email to say hi, I'm watching, and I can always say hello to you during story time. And remember, there are activities, there's crafts and games and things that you can do to go along with along with the stories that we did today. Hello there. I think we have a few joining us. I think we have Apollo and maybe his sister that might be joining us today. We'll go ahead, and if you are joining us and you want to help us sing our goodbye song, if you missed the beginning of this, you can go back and rewind it. It will be also available on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it and practice the songs so that when you're playing the dreidel game, you can sing it along with the dreidel game if you like. So let's go ahead and we'll sing our goodbye song. So remember, we can wave goodbye like this or like this. It doesn't matter. And waving hi and goodbye are basically the same. So everybody help Miss Davena sing our songs. And remember, friend. So we're waving goodbye to our friends. It's your 2 fingers hugging. and then we're going to clap for everybody because everyone did such a wonderful job today. Ready? We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye to all our friends. We wave goodbye like this. We clap our hands like this. We clap our hands like this. We clap our hands for all our friends. We clap our hands like this. Yay! Thank you. Goodbye.